I don't think anyone can totally appreciate it unless you've gone through it and
Yeah.
spent 31 days enclosed in very
Yeah.
tight living quarters
Yeah.
where you can't have any social contact with anyone, you can't touch anyone, no one can come close to you.
30
It really does a number on your head
Yeah.
too, you know.
31 days of not being able to see someone's face, they can't see your face. It really takes a lot out of the communication skills when you don't see people's expressions.
Yeah, it really does.
And the other thing is that it's 31 days where you've lost control of your own destiny. And that's a little hard, and to make matters worse, when we had questions for our federal representatives, when we posed questions to them, we didn't get the answers we deserved.
We didn't get answers.
We didn't get answers, period.
I would have appreciated any kind of an
So,
answer rather than
We had
nothing.
31 days where we had questions and concerns. 129 of us almost shared all the same questions and concerns, and
We were the ignored people. We were
we couldn't get an
forgotten.
answer.
Once we were in Cornwall, we were forgotten.
yeah. Oh, as far as being home, I'm so happy to be home. After 31 days of losing your freedom and being not in control of your own destiny, it's just an unbelievable feeling. I'm really, really happy.
Yeah, me too. I can't tell you the feeling we had yesterday as we pulled up. Our friend drove us
Yeah.
from the compound in Cornwall, and the feeling when we pulled up into that driveway and we saw our front door decorated with balloons welcoming us home from our next door neighbors, it was really great.
Yeah, it was much more emotional than we expected. Even leaving the facility in Cornwall was it caught us by surprise how emotional that experience was, because the people there were very caring, and the send off was very nice and genuine, and
As much as we were so anxious to get out of there, we couldn't wait a minute longer, just wanted to get out.
yeah,
But they made it such a special experience for us. There were dozens of people, from the nurses to the Red Cross to the volunteers to the armed forces. As we exited, they hooted and hollered and cheered for us and clapped. They had little gifts for us.
yeah,
And the most emotional for me was to see our nurse, a lovely woman, I don't know her last name, but Roland, who came to check on us twice a day, every day, took our temperature, made sure we were feeling okay. And of course, all we ever saw of her was a mask with a face visor, so we didn't know what she looked like.
yeah,
So when we exited, we didn't even know it was her. She was standing there in her civvies, and she specifically said she wanted to be there. And the only reason I knew was she turned to me, and I recognized the voice immediately, and she said, "Mrs. Morrow, congratulations, have a good trip home." And I just lost it at that point,
yeah.
because I had never seen her unmasked, and I wanted to tell her how beautiful she looked, but I couldn't. I was so emotional. I was just choked up with tears, and I get choked up just talking about it now. It was really the psychological toll it took that really shocked me. And I don't think I'm a tremendously emotional person. I'm not one that takes to tears easily. I can't tell you the number of times. Once we arrived in Cornwall, not so much the previous week when we were still on the ship, but once we arrived in Cornwall, it didn't take much to set me off. Like the tears were
Right.
just, and still now, as you witnessed earlier, it didn't take too much to
Right.
make me emotional, and that's not me. I'm not normally like that. So yesterday to, come home to a wonderful welcome, and we've had all kinds of messages and phone calls. We got a beautiful delivery of fresh tulips this morning. It's been great. But the feeling of yesterday, being able to walk around freely without a mask and do what you wanted, when you wanted to do it, eat what you
Yeah.
wanted to eat, when you wanted to eat it, you have no idea
And the funny
how
thing,
much that means. It's unbelievable.
the funny thing is, like, I've always considered this house a little on the small side. It's not a big house. And I was saying when I was in Cornwall, I don't think I'll ever complain about the size of my house again, because it sure feels like a palace now.
When you go through an experience like this, you have to hopefully be able to take something positive out of it. I guess the positive for me would be not to take what you have for granted. Appreciate everything you have in your life, because boy, when it's taken away from you, it's pretty tough.
I think having experienced this and seeing how your friends rally to support you, that was quite an eye-opening experience. You know you have friends, but you really find out who your friends are in situations like this.
Oh, you certainly do.
And you might not forget it.